Ready to get this thing rock and rolling?
Let's do it. Let's do the thing.
This is Hard Parking, brought to you proudly brought to you by Right Honda, Right Toyota out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Of course, I am your host, Jhae Pfenning, recording from my home studio here in Gilbert, Arizona. Coming up on today's show, Devan Antram stops by the studio to talk about his funeral business that he works in. Sort of, kind of. He's been on the show before. It's been a while. But more importantly, he has brought some bourbon. Some bourbon from Oregon. We're going to get into that. You're always welcome to come to the podcast. Sit in the studio right in front of me, as long as you bring something to drink. Devan, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
You know what's funny is I love how you get dressed up to come here.
You know, I do what I can. I showered this morning, too, on top of it.
Oh, great. But the thing is, you rolled up in a hearse.
That I did. This has been kind of a little bit of a fun car that is actually a company vehicle. But actually, Tyson Hugie, he just did a little write-up piece on it, too.
No kidding.
Because, of course, just like a Honda Acura geek, fellow geek to another, he was pretty stoked about it when I showed up to a little Cars and Coffee meetup he had in Phoenix. This was probably about 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh, was this after the auction?
It was,
yeah.
Yep.
I was out of town that day.
Yeah, so it was over. I mean, he does that annually, I believe. Mm-hmm. I was out there last year, but didn't have a car. I had my limo at the time, which no longer have the limo.
Panther limo's gone?
The limo's gone. It was fun while it lasted, but...
We're going to have to toast to that.
We'll drink to that.
So tell us a little bit about this Honda you have now.
Yeah. So we had a minivan. We retired. We use vans a lot. We use hearses a lot. Normal hearse, usually based on a big Cadillac. We are looking for something a little more compact for kind of utility purposes. This hauls mostly urns. I mean, it's designed to hold a full casket if you need to, but we had it retrofitted out of a company in Cleveland, Ohio, called American Coach Company, and nothing too crazy in terms of modifications. It's got a custom fit loading floor in the back, so seats are gone.
So what does floating floor mean?
So loading floor.
Oh, so, loading floor.
Yeah,
so, a little different than floating floor.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, loading floor. It kind of floats, but it's mounted into the your seat brackets.
Yeah.
But it's got rollers built in, so when you have a casket, you're putting a casket in there. It helps assist with rolling that forward to the end of the platform there. You put a little, call it a beer pin at the end, holds the casket in place.
So people could be watching or listening to this for the first time, and it's been a while since you've been on the show. And so do you want to explain while you're rolling around in a Honda hearse?
Absolutely. So I've been in the funeral biz. I think the first time I've been on your pod was with a casket company. I was a casket salesman for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. Now I'm on the other side of that, working directly with a funeral home here in the Phoenix area. So I'm been doing that for about the last years when I switched jobs, and so that's why I get to roll around in some unique vehicles. This Honda Odyssey being one of them. So pretty cool. Again, that floor, biggest modification is that. Outside of that, it does have a few little tricks on it. It's got some strobe lights in the grille for processions. So
it's got some chrome on the outside.
Got some chrome A, B, and C pillar trim. It's got a Landau bar, a little S bar on the window. So that's significant kind of detail that a lot of older carriages and stuff had back in the day. That's what funeral vehicles typically have on the side to signify that it's a hearse.
I was just looking around for your little Bates stress squeeze, a little casket, the little black squeezable casket that's over here somewhere. But you didn't bring a casket today.
Not today.
But maybe something cask strength. So what did you bring? Tell us about this, because that's the only reason you're allowed in the studio is because you bring liquor.
Brought some bourbon. So I got the opportunity to do a little tasting event at Total Wine. It was an invite-only deal, thanks to my dad. So shout out to my dad for letting me in there. But this, amongst some wine, was in there, but it's a distillery out of Oregon called Oregon Spirit.
Okay.
And honestly, I can't off the top of my head remember what town or area. I believe it's going to be on the eastern side of the state that they're based in. But had some good stuff. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to expect from a distillery from Oregon,
There's plenty of good whiskeys around the U.S. in different areas. You know, that's the thing is everyone thinks that if it's proper bourbon, it has to come through Kentucky. And I think statistically it's 80-something% of them. So that means there's over 10% of whiskey companies in the U.S. outside of the hub of Kentucky. And there's some good stuff. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had Fossil Creek.
No.
I've had Fossil Creek whiskey before, and I think it was good. I mean, it burned at first, and I thought it was terrible, but somehow I finished the bottle, so it must have eventually got good.
Yeah, there you go. This stuff, I mean, this one of their stronger bottles, 120 proof. I mean, this is going to have a little bite, but comparatively, I mean, I've had some, lived in Texas. We met up there a few years ago. Fort Worth, so I've had some, Firestone Robertson Distillery, which is TX, whiskey, bourbon. That stuff's pretty harsh. Their stuff here, this Oregon Spirit, it's pretty smooth. I got to try this iteration here, their cask strength. I tried their rye as well as they had a
single barrel,
smooth. Yeah, single barrel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So outstanding stuff. I figured I'd share the love. And actually, I haven't even broken the seal off this.
I see that. So yeah, I'm sitting there looking at it, kind of salivating. Like, will you stop talking so we can bust into this thing? No, but real talk. So I also hooked you up as an in-studio guest with. That was something we gave away at my birthday, 50th anniversary, or my 50th anniversary.
50th anniversary of life, man.
But you see that, and you said a stogie. The funny thing is, so that is a Twix.
Wrapped in a okay.
Yeah, so we wrapped all those up, but I just learned, I was at a good friend's house this weekend, and they were talking about it, and he just flew, I think he flew to New Orleans this week.
Yeah.
And he grabbed their party favors because he thought they were going to smoke some cigars. And this is a guy he does cigars all the time. And he thought that those Twix that we wrapped up were real cigars.
At first glance, I bought it 100%.
Yeah, I wonder how many people thought, because I mean, I don't smoke cigars.
Yeah.
And but I wonder because there was actually 2 people this last weekend who said that. They go, you know what? I'm glad that you thought that because I thought it too at first. I was like, oh my God. But they are Twix and they are custom wrapped, and so there you go.
That's pretty legit. Yeah, I like the band on that. That's cool.
Yeah, let's go ahead and crack into this thing.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Let's do a Glencairn taster first, and then we brought the rocks glasses with a giant sphere in them.
Do that.
So then once you get past the taste of it, or through the taste of it, we can pour a proper.
You can actually
and keep this thing going.
So
while we're messing with this, we're going to get to this word from Spark Forge Arcus Foundry. If you run a business and you're tired of juggling tools, chasing logins, and constantly feeling like the tech side of things is heavier than it should be, this might hit close to home. That tech fatigue usually shows up as an outdated website, reviews slipping through the cracks, missed calls when you're busy, or social media that's always on the back burner. Most business owners know something's off, but fixing it feels like a bigger project than they have time for. SparkForge exists to take that weight off. It handles the tech behind the scenes, helps clean up how your business shows up online, makes sure calls and messages don't get mixed, keeps reviews from slipping through the cracks, and wrangles social marketing so you don't disappear for weeks. If you're curious, there's a short discovery session, and it comes with 90 days free to actually see if it makes things easier. No pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation about what's working, what's broken, and what you can simplify. So head over to getsparkforge.ai/hardparking to get started. All right, so we're back. Thank you, SparkForge. Okay, let's go ahead and
cheers.
See if you guys heard that.
To the big 5-0.
I don't know if this Glencairn was clean. I've kept it in here, and I just kind of drink out of it all the time. Oh, that's punchy.
It's got a little
shit ton of flavor, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Wow.
It's pretty complex.
Yeah. What are we tasting there? Does it have the tasting notes?
Let's check it out here on the bottle. I mean, it's a little smoky.
It is. You can feel the high proof as soon as it touches your mouth.
You definitely can.
Does it say cask strength on there anywhere?
This is cask strength.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Casket strength. This thing's going to kill me.
This probably might put you in a casket if you drink enough. Yeah, what do we got here? Let's give flavor backgrounds. At Oregon Spirit Distillers, our roots run deep.
Does it have any, like, raisiny? It's got a little...
So, it is in Bend, Oregon. There we go.
Bend, Oregon,
That's where they're based. Hand selected for exceptional quality. It's a 4-grain straight American bourbon whiskey. Small batch distilled. But
well, it tastes great.
Definitely need
I like it.
I mean, it's good. It's got a punch, but it finishes a little softer than it hits you at the beginning.
Let me see that bottle. All right, let me go to the glasses. This will be the first time I've worn glasses on the podcast. If you're listening to this, you know you can watch this on Spotify as long as you're not driving. Let me see. I like this distilled in Oregon, bro. This is cool. Yeah, it doesn't even tell you.
No background.
But fucking assholes, this guy.
You know, could have put a better plug on there for the product, but hey.
Yeah.
Got to try it to like it, I guess.
Small batch, but yeah, this is really good. I'm going to go ahead and do the rocks glass pour. I apologize for people right now that just want us to get on with it, but you know, it's crazy because tonight is One Drink Wednesday.
Which I forgot at the time.
An hour and a half from now.
I forgot about that at the time I reached out to you about getting together, but
I didn't.
You know, now it's going to be 2 Drink Wednesday after all. So,
well, it'll be probably closer to 7 or 8. There you go. There's your bottle. So, what have you been up to, man? You said we needed to catch up, and you're right. And I don't think it was just because of this, but maybe it was.
I mean, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but no, just again, I'm trying to think. When was the last time I was over here?
Thank you. Yep. So I'm pretty sure the last time you were over here, I can tell you what was going on, and I remember the cover of the episode, and I remember there was some woman who was pissed off in YouTube.
The Tesla incidents?
That was, yep. It was the Teslas on fire. People, we were making fun of people that were keying Teslas and talked about people lighting the Teslas on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And a woman got mad watching this on YouTube because all we did was talk about bourbon, some cars, and parenthood.
That's right.
And she thought it was a colossal, boring waste of time.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she watched it because we'll take the viewing.
Absolutely.
I think she fell for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And the thumbnail wasn't incorrect. Yeah, I had a Tesla burning. But the reason I remember this is because when you came in that day, I'm 99% sure this was you. My granddaughter, Nova, was sitting at the counter on her iPad. And I tried to get her attention to say hi to you.
Yeah.
And like most little kids, you know, being a father, they're locked into the device. And so I got close to her and I started growling a little bit and she kind of laughed. And that was it. You know, that was the famous incident where my mother-in-law accused me of growling at her and barking at her.
Ah, that is right.
Yeah.
Now that's all jogging my memory.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so that was the last time you were in studios. I got in trouble for some crazy shit that I didn't do.
You know, it'd be like that sometimes.
And that wasn't the first time. It happened again a few months, probably 6 months later. What grown adult growls and barks at another adult? I mean, I can see if it's your significant other and you're just trying to be a little playful.
Cat call,
dog
call.
Yeah, it's not like you're like, woo, 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 woo. You know, have you seen that commercial that guy's like, you know, my boss is from University of Georgia and I probably shouldn't have barked at her. Every time that commercial comes on, I have PTSD from that night.
Yeah, I do recall that commercial. Yeah,
from getting yelled at, you know. But my wife was like, well, I go, you believe me, don't you? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? Anyway, that's how I know. I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure. So that's why I'm pretty sure you met Yvette before, and I think you.
I think now that we're recanting all that, I'm pretty sure you're right.
But her memory's not so good either. She's like, I don't think I met you.
You know,
like, okay,
it's been a few months.
Dude, it's been like a year.
You know,
that had to at least been because that was 2024.
Honestly, yeah, because I mean, talking about my limo. I mean, I sold that back in September. So
yeah,
I hadn't talked to you since that.
Well, because they were lighting dealerships on fire. That was during the election, was it not?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that was 24.
All right.
That was fall of 24. That's the last time you were here.
It's been a minute. Yeah, I know I messaged you from time to time, and you know, I always try to mean to catch up.
Yeah,
It's good. It's always good to come back here. I think this is probably time. I want to say maybe this third or fourth time.
This is your third or fourth time on the podcast for sure. Maybe third time in studio, or maybe I don't know. Maybe on the phone.
I know we did one at that car show event. For a few of the kids, I believe that one that you guys put on. So I know we did one.
You working Sunday?
Sunday?
What are you doing Sunday?
I'm off on. Well, actually, I take it back. You know what I'm doing Sunday? I'm headed to Temecula, California, on Friday.
Oh, what's going on in Temecula?
So I have a girlfriend these days.
Yeah,
great gal, and she was super cool enough to buy a nice stay at a B&B in Temecula, California. So we're gonna do a little wine tasting. Probably some good restaurants. I mean, we've got a ton of lists of recommendations from people.
Good for you.
Been to Temecula one time for a wedding back in 2018. Didn't really do much venturing out besides the winery that the wedding was at. So seeking advice if you got any recommendations yourself.
Man, I don't. I mean, I don't spend much time in Cali, and I wonder, is this northwest of San Diego?
It is. Yep. I think it's
kind of due west of like Oceanside or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if I've been there actually. Not obviously, but we were at a wedding, and I want to say because it's wine country, but it's not Sonoma, which is way North Cal. Like I've never been way North Cal.
Yeah.
But it must have been Temecula or somewhere around there, and it was beautiful. It was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, gorgeous area. Like I said, had some good friends get married out there. And so we felt it was a good time to maybe get out of the heat a little bit. It'll be nice and chilly over there. But I think it's going to be like mid-60s.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
And I think we're cool
next weekend, too.
Yeah. Finally. I mean,
been
pretty warm.
Yeah, it was cool, then it was warm, then it was hot, then it was cool. You mentioned Tyson earlier, and I still got to, like every day I tell myself I need to call him and go over to his place.
Yeah.
Because I need to do a pod from there. And he's down. I just need to give him a call.
Yeah, just got to hit him up. I saw him at that car show where I kind of debuted that Honda Odyssey out there to him and some guys. Got a lot, probably the hit of the show, to be honest. Everybody was kind of gathering around like, what the heck is this, You don't see that every day. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's any other funeral home in the state of Arizona that has a Honda Odyssey hearse. I mean, that's probably the one and only.
Probably not. Probably not anywhere outside of Japan.
So exactly right. Tyson kind of joked, if for those of you that want to get your last hit of VTEC before you hit the bottom.
I think it has VTEC.
Oh, it does. Yeah, still got the what I think it's got a J series. It's 3.5 still in.
You should get a magnet for it. Back when I had my Integra, I had a big. Remember the big Intel inside thing? I had one that said VTEC inside, and I had the circle. I had it on my hood.
Should put that on the Odyssey hearse.
You should. That would be funny as hell, man.
Yeah. Another sidebar story. I have a cousin of mine from New Mexico. He's got a son who's, understanding he's pretty new into driving, 16 years old. He's been into race simulation driving. So again, brand new driver, but he's in the racing simulation. Has been doing that out in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he had reached out to me kind of out of the blue. Honestly, I didn't even have his number, so I was like, "Who is this?" Because he's like, "Hey, Devin, I need you to go check out a car for me. I'm the resident family car guy." So I'm like, okay, number one, who is this? Well,
right.
It's my cousin Kevin's son, Dylan. But anyway, he's looking to get into Miata spec racing.
Okay.
So he was looking at a 91 Miata, fully based.
The Skittles.
Yeah.
First gen Skittles.
Gen Skittles. That's it. This one was a blue one. Guy in North Phoenix. Had a pretty good shape. I mean, beat up race car.
Right.
But for the price point you're getting into to jump into that segment, not too shabby. The car ran good. Guy seemed pretty honest and legit. Certainly a big time enthusiast to that. I think as many of those Miata guys are.
Right. Yeah.
So took a walk around the car up in Phoenix. Gave it the thumbs up. I rolled up in the Honda Odyssey hearse too, just to really instill my.
That's a bar in one of the songs, like something pulled up in a hearse. I can't think of the song, but I just know that part.
Yeah, I think I know what song you're talking about, but I can't remember what it is either. It's either like I feel like it's a 2 Chainz song or something.
It could be 2 Chainz. Somebody is screaming right now at the podcast. It's so and so. 2 Chainz, Ice Cube. Who's the guy? Slide, Sippity Slide. Who's dead? Coolio.
Oh, Coolio. Yep. R.I.P.
R.I.P. But anyway.
But anyway. Saw this Miata, gave it the thumbs up, said, hey, I jokingly told the guy too, I think he was looking, he had a price in mind. He had it advertised on I think it was racingjunk.com, I think.
Ah.
I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with racingjunk.com.
But had it posted on there. I kind of jokingly said, oh, my cousin said you were down for half the price of what he had it advertised for. He kind of thought I was serious for a half a second, but then I laughed and said, no, I'm just kidding. But I said, I know you guys talked about a price, and he said he felt comfortable there. So I was like, hey, seems like a good deal to me, but rolled out of there, text my cousin, hey, if you want a race car, you got a race car right here. So rolled down the street. Tyson's house is about 10 minutes down the road, so rolled by there with the Odyssey, and he shot a couple video clips and just did a little write-up on one of his publishing entities. And again, he was super stoked on it. Super cool. I mean, it's something different. I don't know if people in traffic really recognize that van for what it is.
Of course they don't.
It's pretty subtle, but if you know, you know.
Well, when you pulled up, I looked at it and I go, what? I mean, it doesn't look like a regular Odyssey, but what?
You don't know what it is.
Yeah, you know what else? You know what we talked about last time we were on as well? We talked about the Civic Type R versus the
Integra
Type S. Yeah.
I'm still fiending to get into one of those vehicles. I still haven't decided which.
God,
or when.
I love them both, man. Like I just wish I had. I'm one of those people that wish I had more money, like most people.
Yeah.
But I wish I could drive an FL5 Civic for a while, and I wish I could drive a Type S Integra for a while. And it's hard to justify, right? Because I got the Z.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's my daily. And I just wish I had room for just one more daily. Like, I wish I had a daily for my daily. Like,
Right.
my life was good when I had the Infinity and the Z and the NSX. You know, because I had a daily
mix.
and a daily for the daily. And then, of course, the MDX when it's time to switch it up. Gee, are you paying attention to the industry at all? You know, with all these cancellations of EVs, and right now they're trying to give away Prologues.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, Honda scrapping their whole EV line. I mean, all that new RDX that was supposed to be coming out, done before it even was a thing. So pretty interesting to see the pivot. I mean, honestly, I was listening to another podcast talking about automotive
dare
stuff.
you.
You know, unfortunately, I still listen.
I don't talk about enough car shit. I get it.
Yeah, you talk too much about parenthood and
Parenthood, politics, and bourbon.
But no, they were talking about, kind of the turning of the tables because, what was it, about a year ago, Nissan was in great peril. And they're not in great shape.
Oh, that's right. They were trying to, they almost got bought out.
But Honda was trying to, say, hey, we want to buy you, but we would have controlling interest in you. And they said no, they turned that down. Well, now it kind of the scripts kind of flip because Honda's kind of hurting. I understand that they've taken a significant loss due to the
something like $20 billion or something.
All that money sunk into EV development, and now they're pulling back on that. So it's kind of interesting times to see that because Nissan's kind of got some forward momentum with some of their upcoming stuff. Xterra's coming back.
I guess the GTR might be coming back.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Every time I see those posts, I don't know if they're real or not.
No, it's hard to tell. I don't know what AI.
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean, you can say you use just the prompt, and it could just be rumors, but you still see it. Like we know that the pictures aren't real; they can't be. But just the news, you got to look for the news and then try to cross reference it everywhere. But I feel like Honda, I wouldn't say they saw the writing on the wall because they seem like one of the last big companies to bail. Because I guess Stellantis had lost even more money. Yeah, and GM had lost even more money. And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what they come out with.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those automakers are pivoting to, hybrids or emphasizing on which Toyota pretty much took that path from the get-go.
Toyota's been on hybrids for a minute.
Which I think was smart, personally. Yep. I kind of wish Honda did a little bit more on the hybrid front in their lineup, too. But, honestly, talking Acura and Honda, them dropping the RDX, they're discontinuing that for, 2 years, I think, and then I think it's going to be coming back as a hybrid or an EV.
I don't know, but
that might have changed too.
Dude, the RDX is sweet, man.
Oh, they're cool. They're cool looking.
They're fast.
Number one thing I hate about them, though, the infotainment system and that touchpad. God awful. Which they did away with that in the MDX.
They did away with it because that's one of the selling points for our new one outside. That and the massaging seats. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, they're sharp looking too. I really like the body style on those. They look good. I like the functionality. That whole, do they all have the captain's chair that can come out, that center seat, turn in?
Yeah. We had it in the back in the old car too, the 23, and we just never took it out. And I forgot that it could even do that.
It's kind of slick, best of both worlds. When you need the extra seat, you have it.
But it's kind of this pain in the ass thing you have to figure out what you're going to do with.
Right.
Because the answer to all of that shit from my wife is just put it in the garage or put it in storage. I'm like, look at the garage. I got like 6 child seats in the fucking garage right now. Like everything can't just go in the garage.
Right. At some point you run out of garage. I actually convinced her to upgrade our storage. We had a 10 by 10. Yeah. And now it's like a 10 by 20, and it already feels cramped. Yeah. Because the answer to everything is put it in the storage or put it in the garage. Yep. Out of sight, out of mind, and then you just accrue a bunch of stuff.
Or you buy shit. Yeah. Because you forget you have it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What are you rolling? What's your daily right now?
Well, I'm back.
It's not the hearse, is it?
No, it's not the hearse. I mean, I'm driving this home tonight. My truck. Still got my 2016 Ford F-150. I bought that thing brand new. Hard to believe, 10 years ago. 2016, 10 years ago. When did that happen? Right. So have that thing. I've just rolled 160,000 miles on that truck, and honestly, it's been phenomenal. It's got the 3.5 EcoBoost motor in it. And I know folks have had cam phaser issues, that kind of different stuff, timing chain guides. Knock on wood,
Yeah, you know, when a car has, excuse me, when a car has issues, it's not every fucking car.
Yeah.
It's a certain percentage of the car. So even Range Rover and Land Rover, they're not all going to blow up.
No, I mean
only 70% of them.
If you maintain a vehicle, I mean, chances are you're gonna have a better likelihood of it lasting you a good amount of time. I mean, yeah, same can be said for Range Rovers and Land Rovers. All
McLarens.
There you go. You know, some have better reps. I mean, even these days, Honda, Acura. I know, their reliability reputation's kind of slid a little bit too in comparison. You got brands like Hyundai and Kia that have kind of stepped up.
Dude, Hyundai and Kia, they're like. I'm gonna steal this quote from someone because I think maybe Andre Mullins. They're the Hondas of the '90s right now.
100%.
And we looked at. I don't know why we looked at the Kia Telluride and we looked at the Hyundai Santa Fe, not the Hyundai Santa Fe, the Hyundai Palisade, and we drove a Palisade. We as in Yvette, we didn't drive a Telluride for some reason, but they're nice, but they're missing something. I was watching a review. I think it was Motor Trend or one of those things, and the lady was reviewing like SUVs, and because we almost bought an Infiniti QX60 the first time, and then this time Yvette just didn't want to. I don't know. She just didn't want to drive one. But when I was watching the review, the lady said the QX60 is like a jacket you buy from H&M. I knew exactly what she was talking about when she said it. She says it looks great
after a while,
but it doesn't really work the way it's intended. And so that was just so funny to me, dude. But Yvette didn't. I thought she was gonna really like the Palisade. It was nice, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then the Lexus GX 550s, which is sick.
Oh, they're sweet.
Kind of expensive and. I guess they drive like a truck, and you can't order them. You kind of get what you get.
Oh, they're hard to get. I mean, my dad's been eyeballing one to have a GX 550, and we've talked to about 3 dealerships here in town, and it's waitlist, and you get what you get. You can't order those things.
Have you talked to Chandler?
We talked to Chandler. Talked to what is it, Superstition Lexus?
Superstition don't get shit.
Oh, they claim their allocation was high.
They're skin and bones.
I feel like I don't know. And then most recently, Earnhardt Lexus is the latest one we're talking. So there seems to be more traction with them. We'll kind of see what happens there. He's got his list of top picks of the colors and whatnot. There's like an incognito gray.
Yeah.
Personally, that's one of my favorite colors.
That's a cool color.
I like the green they have too. My dad's not really a green car guy, so it's either the grays. There's a couple grays and then a white. Keep it simple.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's basically a Land Cruiser. Deep, rebadged with a little more creature comforts, but it's a rough ride.
Yeah, it does.
And knowing that, once we did the comps, the MDX still came out on top, or damn near on top in every category.
I mean, that's
minus power.
Yeah, power wise.
Unless you have Type S, and Yvette didn't want to spend $1,000 a month on Type S,
yeah.
And I didn't want to spend it either because my Type S is in the garage. Speaking of, you were saying Honda and Acura quality, at times, I mean, I'm waiting on a call for warranty. My driver's side door tweeter, I shut the door and the thing fucking popped out.
Oh, man.
It's popped out twice now. And I'm just like, this is a silly problem to have.
Fit and finish for a Halo car.
Right.
It's pretty rough.
It's a funny thing, right? And then all the rattling, my friend Ira, he knows how to take apart the dash and fix all the rattles. I haven't done it yet, but I might because it just drives me nuts.
Yeah, once you hear that, and you're in there, you're like, man.
Well, apparently the clips, right? The dashboard clips, they don't have any of that insulation tape on them. And, they use the metal, so they just, sometimes it's worse than others, but it's like, my God.
Well, especially with a sports car, you get a little stiffer suspension, you're going to feel more bumps than.
You know what's funny, and you're right, you can hear the suspension, like, when you go over bumps and stuff, you can hear it go, it's like, what the hell? Like, I can hear that shit from inside the car?
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. So thinking about the Palisade in the Telluride too, with that big thing with the seats, not having the sensor to stop from folding in on. I mean, a child lost her life in that. That's pretty wild.
Whoa!
To see that, I don't know if you'd seen much.
No, I hadn't seen that. That's just wow.
There was a stop sill, I think it was on certain trims because it's like again the power seats, power fold down seats in the second row or third row.
That was their selling point. I want to say it was the Palisade. It's got the cool. You hit the thing and it goes. It just does on its own. It takes a while, but it just does it on its own.
But it just doesn't stop it. Even if people have been. I've seen on like Instagram, people will test it out, put a basketball in the seat, press the button. It doesn't stop for anything. So,
wow.
A little scary.
Oh.
You know, I was listening to, I'm trying to think, I think this might have been Doug DeMuro's podcast. They were talking about some of this too. And it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, technology is great. Functionality, intention of that's cool. But there's nothing wrong with a lever you pull.
No.
And,
it's just on rails.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you mentioned these podcasts. What are some car podcasts you listen to?
Oh, I mean, I'm kind of, again, Doug DeMuro. I mean, so what's his podcast called? Is it Cars? I mean, I think it's
People
Cars,
can find it.
Biz podcast. You know,
Yeah.
People can find that pretty easy. He's obviously a big name in the YouTube and podcast world. Listen, it used to.
This is a glass of bourbon.
This
Yeah.
is a glass of bourbon from Oregon. Quirks and features, by the way. No, I mean, I listen to him. I used to be big on Donut Media, you know. But there's been, I don't know if you follow that.
I didn't realize they had a podcast. I know I watched a couple of their videos on YouTube. I know they've gone through like a whole acquisition and all the talents left.
Yeah, that's changed. I mean, all my favorite guys from that have since now splintered off and doing their own thing, which I do keep up with. Like,
I get jealous of shit like that because is it James? Who's the main guy?
James Pumphrey.
Yeah,
Yep.
like he was the first to split, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. And then the Jeremy and what's the other guy's name?
Yeah, James. He split and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm doing my own thing." And I'm looking at him, I was like, "Jesus, this dude already has like 300,000 subscribers."
Yeah,
because he was like, people liked the media, but they liked him.
Well, his personality is great.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
he's very animated, and I mean, I love his up to speed segments. Those were some of my favorite videos. You know,
Yep.
a few years ago. And so when he passed, I was like, man, moving over to his platform called, I think his channel's called Speed.
Yeah,
With 3 E's.
well, it's
And,
good for him, man.
yeah.
Because I mean, it's like when you could take that and just you become the brand.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
The face of the brand. And I would say he definitely kind of became that. And
Yeah.
a few of the other guys that trickled in and kind of paved their path and made a name for them too. I mean, you know, and they same thing. They've been able to split off too. I think the other guys have a podcast or show called Big Time on YouTube. So that's a pretty good one. I'll catch those episodes from time to time. James Pumphrey, I mean, talking about, you know, your podcast, you know, you don't talk about purely just cars or just one
Well, that's
topic.
the problem.
I mean, it's a problem, but it's not a bad thing either. I mean, James kind of proves that he does that. I just watched the video of his last night. Talked about clothing and fashion for guys. He just talked about, you know, doing less with more in your clothes. You know,
That's
that
what
kind of
happens when you're so big.
stuff. Yeah,
You can just call it like you want it.
right.
You know, that's like my friend Brandon here, VQ VTEC V8. You know, with the red car, his NSX. He got so big on Instagram. I always joked, I was like, this dude could post a picture of the corner of his bumper and get 3,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how some of those guys get.
It's
Good
just-
for them, man. It's
Yeah.
awesome for them.
Exactly. I guess if you can pull it, that's cool. Not everybody can. Apparently, it's just different strokes for different folks, and it's just like the kind, you know, the guy at the party that can tell a raunchy joke, and maybe you can't tell that joke because, like, man, you know, that's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be that guy or not.
It's a slippery slope.
What have you been able to drive lately? Have you done any traveling?
The last rent.
I don't get
car
to
I
drive
had-
anything. The last thing I had was the Suzuki. God, what was it called? Jimny. The
Jimny.
Suzuki
Oh, yeah,
Jimny in Costa Rica, and that was a couple months ago now. But what about you?
Yeah, I don't travel anymore. Like, you know, my past job, so it's kind of more rare that I get to drive anything different, rent anything different. But I did have a wedding in Salt Lake City, Utah, in September for my best friend from high school, and I rented a Jeep Grand Wagoneer L, so the big boy, long guy, and so drove that. It had the Hurricane V6 or the inline six. Sorry,
It's got a Huracan V6 in it.
Huracan.
Shit,
It's got like, I want to say they're over 450 horsepower. I don't know, something crazy.
it's crazy.
They scoot, and it was pretty sweet. I mean, I know those cars have a reputation for a lot of electric bugaboos and stuff like that, but they look cool. I mean, to me, it's a cool alternative to your Yukons and your Tahoes and all that stuff. And you know, so that was the last car I rented. I was gonna possibly rent a vehicle this weekend to go to Temecula, but I opted. I actually got my truck in for service, getting some stuff taken care of. I'm gonna drive that out there because it's been a while since I've gotten that truck out of town, so it'll be nice. But driven this Odyssey. I mean, my work car. So we got a small fleet at the funeral home. You know, I got a couple brand new Cadillac hearses that are built on an XT6. So that small SUV, normally 3 rows. They chop that thing up, stretch it. I can't remember how long of a stretch it is, but it's got a full, I believe it's like fiberglass body, built for a casket on the back end. So basically a truck. Got 2 of those. We've got I ordered this actually. We got a 2025 Chevy Express 2500 cargo van. And what I found is, we wanted some windows just on the loading doors. And most of those vans on the lot are built for trade guys, tools and stuff. So they don't have windows because they don't want windows. They don't want people seeing their tools to steal their stuff, So we had to order one with windows. And so while I was at it, I was like, well, instead of that 4.2 V6, maybe get the 6.6 liter V8.
Why not?
Why not? Put the remote start on there. It's got blind spot alert, So for a cargo van, it's kind of tricked out. I mean, in that van, what's cool about those is that van, the platform itself hasn't changed since like 1996. So that's like a 30-year-old platform.
That's funny, dude.
So it's like a piece. It kind of is nostalgic driving it. I mean, it's got an 8-speed automatic transmission. Well, that's a vast technological improvement, but it's pretty analog. It's still got a physical key. Still got the radio from like all the early 2000s General Motors products in it. No, there's no. Well, there's a backup camera. They have to legally have that now, so it's in the mirror. But it's pretty analog, which is pretty cool. So honestly, I drive that from time to time. It's pretty fun.
Physical keys are a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah,
I fucking hate fucking.
It's weird.
I'm like, what the hell is this? I gotta put it in the thing and turn it. Like what?
When you're not used to it. I mean, my limo, being a 2000 Lincoln, still had the physical key. So I kind of had my trucks push to start, all that. So there's something I enjoy about turning the key. I don't mind it, but it is nice just to roll up, pull the handle, door unlocks, push the button, and you're gone.
Let me ask you this, or I'll get you out of here on this. With hearse, we see the traditional Cadillac or Lincoln, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. What's the modern trend? Are they basically vans and small SUVs that are being converted?
The trend right now is still the funeral car fabrication industry. It's been in a kind of a weird limbo lately because all those cars were built on full-size American sedans, the Lincoln Town Cars of the world, the Cadillac, DeVille, or DTS. So now they shifted, like the last iteration before like this generation of hearses for us was built on the XTS, which was at the time the large sedan. And those cars are much smaller than the old full, body-on-frame sedans. We're shifting to SUVs. But you're now even getting coach companies that'll build, on a suburban chassis, so just a long SUV to not have to do as much fabrication on a vehicle. I mean, because these are pretty intricately, modified to do that, and they're not cheap. I mean, they're 6 figures.
Sure,
it'll run you.
That's crazy.
Probably about $150,000 or more to buy
modify.
A hearse. Yeah. So
is there a Sequoia hearse out there?
Not that I know of, honestly.
It'd be kind of badass.
It would be pretty cool. I know the Sequoia. It's a little high. It's a little high. So that's your big consideration.
It needs to have the ramp, like the wheelchair ramp on the back of it.
Yeah. Most of your hearse stuff, like if it's not like a Suburban or a true modified hearse, minivans are pretty common. Usually, not a Honda Odyssey. Usually like a Chrysler Pacifica. It's usually the most modified minivan for duty of a
Pacificas are great, man.
They're solid, honestly. Don't sleep on the Pacifica.
I know Chrysler needs to hook me up. Anytime I travel, they need to hook me up with a Pacifica, man. Those are nice.
Got the room, stow and go seats. Can't beat that.
Try to get Yvette to get a minivan because she's always like, well, I got to carry all the kids and I'm going to have like 50 people in the car. I go, well, just get a minivan. No, fuck that. Yeah. Never.
No. They're saying millennials are kind of bringing the minivan back. They're super practical.
I'm bringing Mini back.
Justin, where you at?
Justin, where you at? They make sense. Minivans make sense, and I mean they
tons of room.
Easier
to park than
all the creature comforts because they want to sell that. They
got
both
vacuums.
doors open usually.
Yeah, sliding doors. You don't have to worry about door dings because your kid opening your door. You just push the button.
The Pacifica, at least for a while, they just come with vacuums. I think is what you're about to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got the vacuum. The Honda's got the vacuum.
The Honda has it?
Yeah. This one doesn't, but you can get a vacuum on the Touring Odyssey, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, I think minivans are underappreciated by the vast majority of society.
They just need to look better.
They just need to be a little bit cooler.
Hey, at least they're not Chevy Astros.
Yeah,
Or Ford Aerostars.
Oh, the Aerostar. Yeah. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, I got you all perked up.
Has to be an Eddie Bauer, though,
Remember when Eddie Bauer? You
RIP.
saw Eddie Bauer and you thought it was like, wow, that person must be rich.
Right, yeah.
They got an Eddie Bauer.
My parents bought a 1998 Expedition Eddie Bauer.
Oh.
And as a kid, I was like, man, we've made it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
And now Eddie Bauer's, I think they're gone. They're bankrupt, I believe. So,
Are they?
yeah.
I haven't been to a shopping mall in so long, and I haven't seen an Eddie Bauer edition or anything.
Yeah,
But
I just geek out with all the articles I read. But yeah, I think they're done. Wow. Which that was probably one of the biggest, like, apparel automotive partnerships out there.
It was. Well, cheers to Panther Limousine.
Cheers to Panther Limousine.
R.I.P. Panther.
We might resurrect that one day. We'll see.
R.I.P. to Eddie Bauer.
R.I.P. to Eddie
In
Bauer.
case that's what's going on.
But no, I always appreciate you having me on, and appreciate sipping some good bourbon with you as well.
Anytime you want to bring some bourbon by, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
There'll be a bourbon check at the front door, Devin.
Well, I'll bring a good bottle next time too. But hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you on the next one.
I want to thank Devin for coming by the studio and sharing some of that delicious bourbon with me. I went outside and checked out his Honda Odyssey hearse. I didn't take any videos. I probably should have. You probably would have liked to have seen that. So for that, I apologize. Pretty cool, though. You should maybe follow him on social media. If I can remember, I'll put his socials in the episode description. So we recorded this before the Copper State. This is coming out after the Copper State 1000, which took place on April 12th. And I tried something different. You're going to hear it on the next episode. I'm not very excited about it. I brought my lavs, my wireless mics, and it was so windy outside, and it's just like, God. But you know what? I try really hard every episode to get better. And I push and challenge myself to constantly tweak this podcast, because if this thing fails, it's because of me, not because of anybody else. And it sure as hell isn't because of you, because if you are part of the problem, you wouldn't be here now. So for that, I thank you. I want to thank Right Honda and Right Toyota, SparkForge AI from Arcus Foundry, AutoCannon officially licensed Honda and Acura gear, Patreon business supporter, Kuya Automotive out of Winter Garden, Florida, Automotive Specialty Tool out of Owings Mills, Maryland, Big House Small Home Design out of Ashburg, Virginia, and Traverse City, Michigan. The Lucky Break Sports Breakers out of Caledonia, Michigan. And, of course, Shaping Success Treasure Valley out of Boise. You can check Wes Tankersley and me out at One Drink Wednesday. Literally at One Drink Wednesday on Instagram. We go live every Wednesday. I just had him on a couple episodes ago. Go back and check it out. It's called Wes Tankersley One Drink Wednesday crossover. I'm going to stick it up in the description if I can remember that. If you're in a position to help the podcast upgrade, well, you know what? If you're watching this on YouTube, just buy me a coffee at the bottom. If you're watching this on Spotify, there's nothing you can do but leave a comment. But with that being said, you can follow the Patreon. You can go to the Patreon, but I'm not going to beg you like I do every week. I want to thank Mark Stillman, Catherine Cox, Eddie Ramos, Richard Graves, Byron Jones, Bo Jung, Alex Green, Drew Bunkley, and great Dre Mullins. You can email the show info@hardparking.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow the Instagram @hardparkingpod. And I will talk to you all next week.
Shut up!